Hi guys, this is Gladys from Best Cars for Sale in Kenya, and I'm here to quickly give you a summary of the importation process. Now, the first step is usually to agree on the specific model of the car that the client is interested in. If you have not yet made up your mind on the car that you want to import, then don't worry. You can give us a budget that you are working with, then we can be able to suggest units that fall in that budget. Then the second thing that you need to note is the make and the model of the car that you want to import. The moment you have identified that, then the next job is on us. For us, we're going to advise you to import a low mileage car, and by low mileage we mean mileage that is not more than 50,000 or not more than 60,000, because mileage matters a lot. Yes, I've had stories of people saying that gari si mileage, but at Best Cars we say gari ni mileage. And then also the next thing that you need to have in mind is the grading system. Now it's very, very important. Actually, this is the most important part of the entire importation process, understanding the grading system, because this is where you get to know the true condition of your motor vehicle. How had the previous owner maintained this car? Had they maintained this car well, or were they reckless as they were using this car? So once you have that information, you are able to know whether you're settling for a good car or whether you are settling for a car that has been compromised. Because at the end of the day, it's important that we understand that these are cars that are in the second-hand market, and different people use cars in a different ways. There are those that are really good at taking care of a unit, both at the exterior and the interior. Now in Japan, what happens, they check the car. How was the exterior maintained? How was the interior maintained? And then they also check the overall condition of the car. This is whereby they check the gearbox of the car. They check everything. How are the wheel alignment? They check the engine condition. They check the radiator, and to see if everything is intact and everything is working well. Automatically, for cars that were well maintained, they automatically get a high grade, like a grade 5. Although a grade 5 is usually a bit rare, but for some lucky clients, they end up getting a grade 5. Now, this is a car that is brand new. Yes, it's in the second-hand market, but it's a car that feels and looks like a brand new car. This means that the previous owner in Japan had maintained well. Now, cars that fall under grade 5 are normally cars that have very low mileage. Mileage below 50,000 kilometers. And cars that were well maintained. And then we have the next grade. This is the grade 4.5. Now this is the best grade for importation. Whenever you get a car that is a grade 4.5, it might be expensive, but it's worth it. This is a car that will not have any issues. This is a car that you can just rely on the auction sheet and know that this is a car that is going to make you happy once it lands at the port of Mombasa, or once you receive the motor vehicle, because a grade 4.5 is a good car, and also a grade 4 is equally a good car. So it's also important to get a grade 5, grade 4.5, or a grade 4 and mileage below 60,000. Now with this, you can be sure that the investment that you have made for this motor vehicle is worth it, and it's going to make you very happy. You can feel free to come to our office so that we get to explain more of this to you, and we will also help you translate the auction sheet, because it's also important to understand how to translate the auction sheet so that you can also know what you are purchasing. We like involving our clients so that they are also part of the purchase process and part of the importation process, so that you can also understand the products that you are buying. And we are very good at explaining all these Japan lingos that might look or might sound very, very difficult. And then also we buy the cars from the auction. So this means that we buy them through a process of bidding. And at the auction, the car is normally sold to the highest bidder. Let me offload some cars, then we'll talk more.